It's the most wonderful time of the year for NRL fans. Well, really for rugby league fans all over the world. It's State of Origin. But like every year, there are selection headaches. There are things that fans aren't happy with. And honestly, this is no different. In fact, I'm asking myself, has Madge gone mad? What kind of team has he chosen to take on the Queenslanders? Well, to preview everything and to have a bit of a chat about the teams, I'm with my trusty co-host, Dibbo. Welcome, Dibbo.
Definitely the most wonderful time of the year. Get that fried chicken out. Get that pizza boxes out. Indulge in the food. Scream your head off. You know, just hope the New South Wales Blues can bring it home.
Mate, this year, I'll tell you what, this team, there's a couple of decisions, man. That
Every
year. I mean, look, I thought we did away with that when we got rid of Freddie Fittler. I thought we were going to have a more cohesive and maybe less controversial team selection for the Blues. But as it stands, and you'll be able to see it on your screen as well, Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, Stephen Crichton, Joseph Akuso Suali'i, Zach Lomax, Jerome Luai is named at 6, Nicholas Hines at 7 with his strains and injuries. Jake Trbojevic, interestingly, is at 8 and is named as captain. Reece Robson at 9, Payne Haas at 10, probably the first person chosen in the team. Liam Martin at 11, Angus Crichton at 12, very well deserved. Cameron McInnes, 13. I think he's going to break the record for the most tackles in a game. And then you've got on the bench, you've got Isaiah Yeo, Homoli Olakawatu, Spencer Leniu, and Hudson Young, with Matt Burton as 18th man, and Luke Keary and Mitchell Barnett rounding out the 20. Dibbo, what are your thoughts?
Just like to know, I know you've named the lineup from 1 to 20 or 1 to 17 there. Has the coach passed the HIA?
As we
How does that happen? What was happening?
As we come to you, Danny Wadler is reporting that apparently Madge has bumped his head on
And
some
cut
corner,
himself, might
and
need
cut himself
stitches.
open, might need stitches. So let's see if he passes the HIA.
Jeez, what did Payne Haas? Was he that invested in Payne Haas?
Yeah, apparently he was invested in a deep conversation with Payne.
Just on that, I can see why, for me, Payne Haas is going to be the most important player. Yeah, that's he was that focused on Payne Haas, because if Payne Haas has a stellar series, I think we'll win. He's gonna,
Look,
lead the way.
he's always important, right? He's the linchpin. But I have to start with
The backs.
probably the most controversial decision is to drop Tedesco and put Dylan Edwards in his place at fullback. Tedesco was captain. He was, the incumbent, had been there for many years, and then Madge has clearly made a statement by going with Dylan Edwards.
I think he's earned.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I think he's earned, not in choosing Edwards at fullback, in getting Tedesco out of the team completely. I mean, there's no reason why he couldn't have chosen him on the wing. I still think he's a damaging player, returning the ball from dummy half. I think he's still warranted to be in that team. I mean, he's chosen Lomax. We'll get to that soon. But if you look at it in the past great sides, I remember you'd have Tim Brasher, Mullins. One would be on the wing. Andrew Inghausen could play fullback. He'd be on the wing as well. Queensland have done it with Bowen and Slater.
I don't think you could
and
have.
Wesser.
You couldn't have. I don't think you could have had him on the wing. I don't think that's a good shout at all. Because look, if you look at the wingers,
Queensland have done it successfully in the past.
He's got Xavier Kurtz and Murray Talangi as the opposing wingers. So whichever side you put him on, he's up against someone that's taller than him, that can out jump him,
But he
that
always
is faster
diffuses
than him.
He's fast. He's one of the fastest players in the game.
No, who? Tedesco?
Of course he
His
is.
biggest complaint was that he was slow.
He's not. He's a whippet.
No.
And he doesn't really get out-jumped unless your name's Lindsay Collins.
Come on, Dibbo. The biggest complaint from New South Wales fans last year was that Tedesco was slow. He was getting in everybody's way and he was getting in his own way.
I don't think he's,
Right.
he's very fast. Have you seen him get chased down?
The big shame for me is that I think if Turbo is not injured, he slots in at fullback instead of Dylan Edwards.
I mean, obviously Lomax doesn't be there. He's too slow to be on the wing, so I don't understand that selection.
We'll get there, but I want to talk about the fullback, right? Because if you look at the opposing number one, it's Reece Walsh. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I think Dylan Edwards deserves it. I think that people have doubted him his whole career, but he's played in 4 grand finals and won 3 on the trot. I reckon Edwards is going to run for about 500 metres.
I'll tell you one thing about Edwards. Somebody makes a break, he'll be there. He'll be there backing up to support on the inside or the outside. He'll be finishing off a lot of tries.
And he'll be there to make the last tackle in defence as well.
He's always there. He's crazy.
And he's going to do it.
He's not as quick as Tedesco, but he's always there.
I don't know. I don't know about that, to be honest. I mean, look, I'd have to look at it, but I don't think that it's speed that Madge has gone for. I think it's more reliability under the high ball, in defense, backing up, taking the tough carries. Because I think that's what because it's going to be so quick.
He's got a game plan, but yeah.
Look, I mean, that for me is one of the big things. You know, and you know, credit to Tedesco. As soon as he found out, as soon as Tedesco found out that Edwards was chosen, he was the first person to call Edwards. And I think, you know, credit to Tedesco. All class, fantastic. But is this essentially the nail in the coffin for Tedesco at fullback?
We'll have to see if Edwards doesn't perform, then, you know.
That's a good point.
And no one else is available.
That's a good point.
He's only 30 this year, isn't he, Teddy?
I'm not sure. I think he's a bit odd on that. But look,
anyways.
But I think Edwards won't let anyone down. That's the thing about Edwards.
I hope he has a good game.
Yeah, I do
if he has a bad game, it's cruel because he's better than that. Brian
To'o and Crichton, I think, choose themselves. I think they've both played excellent at club level. Suali'i.
That was out of left field. I mean,
it was out
good.
of left field.
He's great. I just thought Latrell. How can you not have Latrell in that lineup? You know, you got a close game. Give the ball to Latrell out wide. He barges over. For me, he's still the best centre in the game, him and Joseph Manu. Well, for Australia anyway, Latrell's is your best centre. He absolutely
I disagree. I think Crichton's the best centre, but
I don't think Crichton's in his league. I'm actually stand by that.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, I think as a professional, and they will probably tell you the same thing.
Look, in terms of consistency, right, there isn't better than Crichton. In terms of maybe a big moment, I agree with you that Latrell, anywhere you put him on the field, he can have his big moments, right? But
I don't think Crichton could even make the Australian team.
Who's going to keep him out? Valentine Holmes
and Tabuai Fido.
You're dreaming.
I don't think I'm not.
You're dreaming.
You know, I'll tell you now. If Latrell hadn't had a stop-start year, and Trebojevic is fit, I don't think Crichton even makes the centres. I think he's on the wing. If even on the wing. If Josh Adokar hasn't a stop-start year, that's honestly, I think New South Wales is in all sorts. And I'll be honest to you now, I had my centres as Crichton and Latrell, not Suali'i.
I had my centres as Crichton and Ramian, to be honest.
Ramian's well warranted.
I think I would have had Ramian there. If you're going to have a debut, I think Ramian's earned it. He's played out of his skin. He's aggressive. He's a bit of a niggler, and that's sort of what you need in State of Origin. But
I think Latrell, man.
But having said that, my biggest issue is that Suali'i isn't going to be available to be chosen next year.
I mean, if they win, I'm not complaining.
Look, I agree with you. I think, you know, you're playing for the here and now, and I think that's going to be a theme that we might discuss later. But I personally would have had either Ramian or Latrell there. I'm not a fan of Suali'i, but I do think he's a good player, and I think he will perform on the big stage.
I'll be honest.
Never overawed.
I'll tell you now, I probably would have had even Suali'i on the wing before Lomax. That's how controversial the next one is.
Yeah. So all right, we'll get into it then. Lomax is on the wing. I would have had Fox there, to be honest. I don't understand the Lomax.
That was my choice.
Pick. Having said
Another big game player.
Having said that, I think Lomax, if he gets his head in the game, he'll run for 200 meters. He won't miss any tackles. He's good under the high ball. He has a miracle play, a bit of an X factor about him. It's not a bad call if Lomax can bring his best form to the game. Now, having said that, he doesn't even like playing wing. So it's like, why would you choose him there? I don't know. I'm a
He's
bit
going
confused.
to Parramatta to play. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean...
I just want to point out, it's not a club game. He's at State of Origin
I agree with you.
Like, he's up against Whippets, you know, like... He's going to be up against the Hammer on one side and Tualungi.
Yeah, he's up against Tualungi. I
hope they have an off game, man. Honestly, I love all those boys that we've just mentioned. Have a killer game.
Look,
feel good.
Lomax at his best, I reckon, could be the best winger in the game, and no one can convince me otherwise. On his day. Whether the occasion brings that out of him or he buckles, that's yet to be seen. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'll give Madge the benefit of the doubt. It's not a bad decision. That's not the worst decision in the team.
Who's playing inside him?
I mean, it's. I'm guessing. It's always To'o and Crichton on the left.
He needs a good defensive centre.
So Suali'i's
got. He's better off if Crichton plays
Suali'i's quick. Suali'i's quick. He's got good defensive reads.
I'd have Crichton there.
Yeah, I would have a more experienced centre there.
The other guy, To'o, no one's going to get past him. But yeah. Anyways.
Jerome Luai at 6, I think it's a default. You could have had Burton there, but I think Jerome Luai has been good all year.
I think he did himself favours in that demolition of Cronulla.
Yeah.
So he did himself. Hines, I thought wasn't going to be there at one stage all of a sudden because of how he pulled up the last one or 2 weeks.
Luai's held down the fort, I thought, for Panthers. It's not a bad decision, but I like.
You know what? first game, he's going to tell me a lot about Hines and State of Origin. I still think he struggles when pressure is on him up in his face and giving little time. Whereas if you put pressure on Cleary, he still adapts.
Look, we've got a good forward pack, which is why I'm not worried. The reason I love Luai, I'll be honest with you, the reason I love Luai at 6,
Mr. Confident, in your face grub.
He's got the arrogance.
Yeah.
He's the villain. And you know what? For a long time, the Queenslanders have prided themselves on being the villains, on, having the arrogance and things like that. I love Jerome Luai's demeanour on the field.
I just love for him to have support from his teammates.
Yeah, I agree. I just want the team...
Last year, they just watched him.
No, I want the team to back him undoubtedly, and I want them to have the same swagger that he has. And look, I know that To'o and Crichton will be there with him the whole way. Now it's about everybody else getting behind him. I think Edwards will be there too. So look,
Liam Martin will be there.
I'm really happy.
Spencer Lenia. Look at the Penrith players, former Penrith.
I'm really happy that Luai's. I think.
How good's that? Imagine Cleary was there. You'd have 8 former Penrith, all
fantastic.
Penrith
Yeah.
or former Penrith.
To see Luai there, very happy. I think he'll do a great job, and I think that he will be out there to prove himself to all the doubters. Nick Hines at 7. Look, I don't think we had any other choice. It is what it is. I hope he's not injured.
Luke Brooks was there. Now I'm trolling you, but anyway.
Get out of here, bro. Next you tell me let's put Hutchison there. Calm down,
I was
bro.
about to tell you we'll put Stephen Bradbury there, but anyway, that's what it's looking like.
But I mean, he might as well be Stephen Bradbury.
Yeah, I know.
But look, he's had a great season up until the game against the Panthers.
Warranted.
I think it is warranted. Granted, I think if Moses or Cleary were injured, I'd have them before him, to be really honest.
I totally agree.
But all things considered, not a bad decision. What are your thoughts?
Oh, totally agree. I mean, he couldn't have. I thought they picked themselves.
Okay, so here's where the real controversy for me starts.
Oh.
Jake Trbojevic, Gerbo, as captain. I didn't even have him in my team. I know that's controversial, but I didn't have Jake Trbojevic in my team at all.
Same here. I didn't have him either.
I wouldn't have had him in the team.
It's State of Origin. Yeah, sure, he can defend, but is he going to give us go forward? That's the big question.
He doesn't have the go forward.
He had the go forward, I felt, about 3 or 4, more than 3 years ago, but that's just gone out of his game.
Yeah,
He's as effective in attack as a bunch of pancakes. I mean, if we get the win, thank you, Gerbo. We'll take it, but I don't know, man. I think
he'll tackle.
I don't think he's going to be. I think Payne's got a lot to do. He's the most important player.
Jake Trbojevic is going to tackle everything that moves. Unfortunately, he's only going to be effective on one side of the ball and not the other. And that's where my big concern comes, is that he's not going to be the meter-eating prop that we need alongside Payne Haas to really, bash them down the middle. But the thing about Jake Trbojevic is that he's got a lot of heart and he's got a lot of passion, and I think that should be infectious to the rest of the team.
Yep.
So that's my first controversial call. My second controversial call, and
it's a weird one. I know where you're
going. I've got 4 controversial calls, right? My first was Jake Trbojevic. My second is Reece Robson. Reece Robson should be nowhere near the 9 for New South Wales. If I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me why someone like Reece Robson, who's playing in a team like the Cowboys that's down on form, who didn't particularly perform very well in the New South Wales number 9 last year, gets this shot to be the specialist 9 without a backup, right? He's going to be the specialist 9, and the assumption is that he'll play 80 minutes.
People, I'll tell you what, it's weird because people forget Cam McInnes spent a large majority of his career at hooker. He's at 3rd. It's just odd. It's probably relating to that. Api's form's been a bit down this year.
I don't think Api's form's been down at all. If you watch the Tigers games, Api's been absolutely everywhere, both in attack and in defence.
I don't think he's been as effective. I still thought he was going to be our starting 9. That is the truth.
He should have been our starting 9.
I don't know. I mean, Madge probably looked at it and thought, yeah. But I still would have had him there. He's a big game player. He's proven it time and again.
I'll be honest with you.
He's a 3-time premiership winner at 2 different clubs.
That's what
he's performed for New South Wales before.
He has the experience. He has the leadership.
Maybe the coach has seen something we haven't.
And
then you got Brayley.
I don't think Brayley's been anywhere near.
Although worth considering, I still wouldn't have had him there. My number 1 choice, I honestly would have went Koroisau as my number 1 choice. If I had Cam McInnes in there, he was going to be my 14. To cover a hook or a lock.
So we'll get there. But this is a very, very left field solution. But if he
see how it goes.
But if he wasn't going to choose Api, and it's unfortunate that he's injured, but I would have had Wade Egan there from the Warriors.
He's had a good year.
He's had a good 2 years. He's been very, very good.
What's even more odd is Api playing this week.
I think he is.
Yeah, but what's even more odd, Madge coached him at Souths when they won that title.
Yeah.
So he's seen him.
Yeah, again, I think it's a very controversial call. And to be honest, when you compare Reece Robson against Ben Hunt, and Harry Grant, we are severely outplayed in the number 9. And Ben Hunt and Harry Grant are going to kill us. They're going to kill us up the middle. I don't think Reece Robson is going to be able to play 80 minutes, and that's where I think it's going to be lost for the Blues if they lose. It's that poor decision of having Reece Robson on. Look, I'm happy to eat my words, but that's where my concerns are. That's genuinely where I feel my concerns are. Look, Payne Haas chooses himself. The first player chosen for the Blues is Payne Haas.
Yep.
Liam Martin.
I thought he was going to come off the bench this year, but I mean, if you started him,
he's a great person to start. I think he's great. I had him in my team.
Yeah, I had him in mine.
My only issue is that apparently he sustained a bit of an injury against the Sharks. Hopefully it's nothing, but we're still yet to get some reports on that. Angus Crichton, I thought for the last 4 or 5 weeks has played out of his skin.
Absolutely stellar.
So great to see him.
Wow.
He's going to run over people.
I hope so.
He's going to run over people.
He bashes people.
He will. McInnes, it's deserved. Look, I think McInnes is very well deserved.
Would you have him starting? I thought 14, he can come in at lock and hooker. I thought Isaiah.
I would have had Isaiah at 13. Isaiah would have been my captain in place of Jake Drabojevic, and I would have had Stefano Utoikamanu there instead of Jake Drabojevic.
I like the bench, though.
Look, the bench is great.
All-star bench. I like Kawatu.
Isaiah.
Love it.
Isaiah needs to be there. Olakau'atu has been knocking on the door for 2-3 years. I was surprised that
he's there now.
Freddie didn't pick him last year.
He's
to
there
be honest.
now, thankfully. And the other guy we're about to get to.
Spencer Leniu.
Would you start him, or are you happy to come off the bench?
No, I think he comes up. He's crazy.
15-minute stints.
Yeah, Crazy Eyes needs to come off the bench.
Yep.
He'll come off the bench. Right?
Hudson Young's a
He'll
pacey
just
guy.
rip and tear. He'll rip and tear into the Queensland team when we need that injection of energy. Hudson Young.
Have you seen Hudson Young? He's quicker than centers.
I think Hudson Young. I think
he's quicker than some wingers.
I actually
reckon definitely say
he's cover for if any of our backline go down.
Oh, he's great.
He's got to be cover for.
He's robust in the forwards. Didn't have a great series last year, but I think he's had that experience now. That bench is all star. I just still think maybe Isaiah could have started instead of Cam, but.
Look, I would have Matt Burton on the bench. I would genuinely drop Hudson Young and have Matt Burton on the bench.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Maybe you would have went him at centre.
Like my other
if
issue.
If they're not going to choose Latrell, maybe they could have went him centre.
Oh no, I wouldn't go Matt Burton centre. I think Matt Burton at 14. Matt Burton at 14 can cover 6, 7, can cover centre, can cover fullback.
I reckon he's better starting than bench, and I'm sure you totally agree. I reckon he's better of a starter. And then if anything happened to the team, you can just adjust him from there.
Yeah, I mean, you could have even had him.
He's not a bench player. He's a starter.
I'm with you, but I think he could have caused a lot of damage when he comes on with his passing and long kicking game, if need be.
Yeah, and interestingly, Keary in his last year, he's snuck into the 20.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's cover for Nicholas Hines in case Nico Hines doesn't make it through the captain's run or whatever.
And Barnett.
And Barnett is well deserved. I think, to be honest, I actually think while our bench is good, we probably needed another prop on the bench.
I thought we could have went Stefano or...
Yeah,
there's a few options there.
I think Stefano.
Anyways, I was a bit left field, but I'm not saying he's undeserved. I just thought Stefano didn't get a look in.
So I think my 4 controversial calls are Jake Drabojevic, Reece Robson, Cam McInnes at lock, not on 14, and no cover for the backs on the bench either.
Oh, and you forgot Lomax and...
Oh, yeah, sorry, Lomax. Yeah, there's a couple of controversial ones there. Look, do I think the Blues can do? I think they're going to ambush Queensland and Queensland won't know what hit them.
I think Queensland's a bit smarter on its bench, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. Now, that's the Blues. Queensland, they've named Reece Walsh at fullback. Then you've got Xavier Coates, Valentine Holmes, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, and Murray Tawangi. And then you've got Tom Dearden over Ezra Mam and Daly Cherry Evans. Then you've got Ruben Cotter, Ben Hunt, Lindsay Collins, Jaden Sewer, Jeremiah Nanai, Patrick Carrigan, Harry Grant, Moaki Fotuaika, Jermaine Hopgood, and Selwyn Cobbo on the bench. Rounding it out with the reserves are Felice Gofusi, Brendan Piakura, and Ezra Mam. Right? So that's a strong 20. That's a very, very strong Queensland 20. Reece Walsh picks himself.
They haven't got injuries and they're still strong. Anyways.
Xavier Coates, I think, is deserving. Valentine Holmes, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, and Murray Talangi. They've done the job before. I think they'll do the job again.
Pacey.
Very, very pacey. Very, very skilled and talented.
Tabuai-Fidow,
crazy. He's,
hopefully, I'm confident Crichton can do a defensive job.
I think Crichton can do a defensive job.
I hope he can. I think he will.
Interesting that they went with Dearden over Mam. I thought Dearden's had a great season, even with the Cowboys. I think
I'll give Ezra a run. I mean, he was great for the Broncos. I didn't get it. Why all of a sudden Mam gets overlooked?
I think
it seems to me he's more consistent.
Dearden's done the job before.
Yeah, okay.
And the thing is, his form actually, if you look at the Cowboys, he's actually playing very, very well in a well beaten,
Fair enough.
well dominated
Commitment.
squad. Commitment, skill. He's got the eye. Some of those tri-stemming tackles he's made, like that one he made on Selwyn Cobbo. I think it's very tough to leave him out.
Yep.
Well, I understand it's tough for Ezra, but I think he'll get his chance.
Is DC going to be... Oh, no, he's not the oldest halfback, Alan Langer. But DC is 35 this year?
35 and still going
Wow.
great guns.
Wow. What a player. What a fantastic player.
And then, I think the backline, including the 6 and 7, sort of choose themselves.
And don't forget, you're missing Munster.
You are missing
That's
Munster.
crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Then you've got Ruben Cotter, Ben Hunt, Lindsay Collins.
Yeah, sorry, I was about to say not only Munster, but Ponga's missing as well.
And Ponga's missing too.
Whether he starts or not.
I mean, you could have had him as 14 on the bench.
Exactly.
Or wherever.
It's
Or even on the wing, you could have Ponga. So
yeah, look at that team. Now we got the, Cotter.
Cotter, Hunt, Collins.
Cotter, wow.
I'm actually
Keeps
surprised.
going.
I'm
Energizer.
surprised that Cotter's at 8. I wouldn't have even chosen him in my team.
Really?
Queensland, I didn't have him in my team.
Why?
I would have had Mo Fodawaker starting. And I would
No way.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I'm hearing. Go.
And I'd have Fifita on the bench in his place.
Oh, I wouldn't even have Fodawaker in there. He's been so underwhelming
Nah,
this year.
Fodawaker.
Ruben Cotter last year killed us in State of Origin. I think he got player of the series.
Yeah. But
And this year's
have you
been
seen him?
Cowboys' best.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't been good at the Cowboys at all. I actually disagree. I think he's missed tackles. Look, he's put in the effort.
I
but
think
I
he's
don't
been
think
one of their best.
I don't
if
think
not
he's
the
performing.
best at the Cowboys.
Look, happy to agree to disagree.
I hope he doesn't play well.
Me
Wednesday.
too. Ben Hunt. Look,
He's really good.
It's interesting to see they've started Ben Hunt over Harry
They did it
Grant.
last year and the year before.
I reckon they'll switch though. I reckon this year they switch. I reckon they start Harry Grant and Ben Hunt on the bench.
It's not a bad shout. I reckon it's a good shout.
I don't think
Just Ben Hunt's his kick. Yeah, he'll kick from dummy half.
He's amazing, Ben Hunt.
Him in DC. They work so well.
Great
See what I
combo.
mean?
Great
Give him
combo.
another dominant half.
Yeah, great.
And he
combo.
shows you his bag of tricks.
Lindsay Collins has been
St.
fantastic.
George gives you Kyle Flanagan. Anyway,
Lindsay Collins has been fantastic. Jaden Sewer, very well deserved. I think we were talking about him getting chosen before.
yep.
Jeremiah and I, this guy is probably the most complete second rower I've seen in a very long time.
He started off slow, but then after this first month, he's come
just-
alive.
And look,
Sewer's had a good year.
Sewer's had a great year. Very, very well
He's
deserved.
been good in a crappy Dragon side.
Patrick Carrigan, bro, he chooses
won't
himself.
Stop,
He
man.
chooses himself. The bench is great too. Harry
Man.
Grant, Fodawaker, as you mentioned. Jermaine
Hopgood.
Hopgood's going to be
He's a workaholic.
debuting. I think he's good.
Can
This
you-
year hasn't been great.
I think he'll go good. Yeah, you're not wrong. He hasn't been as good as last year. He's still been good in an underwhelming side.
Would you have him over Fifita?
I'd have Fifita in there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You'd have
But I wouldn't
Fifita
have-
over Hopgood.
Fodawaker's been underwhelming.
Nah, I think Fodawaker for a forward pack that's missing Tino Fa'asumala
he's
is
better
missing
than that.
Bo Firma. They're missing all their players. He's the only prop that's really holding them up, and he's been really
I think Clay
against the
Haas has done
Broncos.
well.
Against the Broncos, he
His
was
best game of the year.
He was very, very impressive against that big pack.
Can you explain the next selection? Why is Selwyn Cobbo on the bench? He's lazy in games. What sort of cover
I actually think that Billy Slater's learning from some of the things that happened to New South Wales last year. So
But Selwyn Cobbo?
wait, hang on. But if you remember last year,
Why not Ezra Mam?
so if you remember last year, Turbo went down in the first 15, 20 minutes for the Blues. They had Cameron Murray at centre, right? Oh, sorry, Damien Cook at centre.
Yeah.
And we get destroyed down there. I think that Selwyn Cobbo can do a job in the middle. Just
Evan
run the ball
Hines
hard,
ended up there.
right? Yeah, so you can have Selwyn Cobbo come in, do a job there in the middle. If need be, just take some hit ups, play 20, 30 minutes or whatever. But he covers fullback, covers wing, covers center. If you can make some moves, he can cover many, many positions for you. And that's where I think Billy Slater's being very proactive in his selections as opposed to reactive. Whereas if you look at the Blues team, my worry is that we don't have a genuine 9 replacement if Robson goes down, isn't performing for whatever reason.
Oh, you have McInnes.
Yeah, but McInnes hasn't been playing 9 for the Sharks for a long time, and when he has played 9, he will tackle everything that moves, but he lacks the offense that is needed in a 9 for State of Origin. You look at our potential 9s compared to theirs; they have 2 of the best 9s that we've seen in a long time compared to Reece Robson and McInnes.
Not only their 9s are better, I think their halves are.
Their halves are better. I mean, at least
Origin-wise, anyway.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they have a poor game.
yeah,
Can only hope, eh?
It's just I think Madge has gone a little bit mad.
And then look, they've gone their reserves. Kafusi, Piakura, Mam. Okay, Koroisau almost forced his way in.
As 18th man, it's quite...
And then what's our biased New South Wales victory tip going to be?
So, I think that we're going to win 26-18.
I'm going to go New South Wales by 4.
Nah.
I'm going to go 20-16. I think we're going to see 4
New South
tries
Wales
of it.
by 8, 26-18.
I love for a big win.
It'll be 26-18. And I think, to be honest, my man of the match, I'm going to say Dylan Edwards.
My man of the match is going to be Payne Haas.
He's going to run for 300 metres.
Go Payne.
Kill it.
Let's do it. Payne Haas.
We sort of come to the end. We just wanted to give a quick preview of, or a quick sort of a discussion over the teams. We're really, really excited for State of Origin. We have a very, 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 very special guest coming on the podcast soon. So if you really like what you see today, you're going to love who we have on the podcast in the next few days. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Big surprises coming, big things happening. The Blues are going to win this season. We're going to win this 3-0. It's going to be a whitewash because everyone's saying that Queensland's going to win. We're going to ambush them. Up the Blues! Thank you very much, guys.